What's up, Alfmarches crew? I just wanted to give a little bit of insight into this quest because I hit the record at the wrong time. So our crew has been selected by the same psychic who did our examinations on the intro to Alfmarches video. And she is looking for a wizard named Kazgat who lives out in Olo. Because apparently he has some very crucial information regarding something. The Mages of Grey did not really disclose what this something is, but they want him back in Grey. So this group of adventurers has been selected, and they're going to be sent there. Before they're meeting with a guy by the name of Harold, who is the examiner who introduced the psychic in our intro scene. So when we're jumping in here, Harold is going to be giving them some information, and they're going to be transported all the way out to Anvil in Olo, which is this area of Alfheim, and that's where we are jumping in our adventure. All right, enjoy, guys. So, at this point, you guys are standing in the room with this psychic, and Harold kind of asks any further questions, and, JA78 sounds like, we have no further questions for him now, but if we may have some for the wizards in the area. And he goes, well, speaking of, they should be here shortly, and with that, the door opens, and in steps a couple of these esteemed wizards. What they quickly do is they hand you all vials, and they're small potions filled with a purple liquid. And they give you one extra. So there's 3 of you, they're going to give you 4. I'm not sure who would like to be responsible for Kazgat's potion. This is how you will return it.
Probably not me, since I'll be departing a little early.
Snark will take it.
Snark will take it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Rockbar would probably break it. So.
Okay, so Snark, you are responsible for the vial, and they say, if there's nothing else, we're going to send you on your merry way to Anvil. And you see them starting to chant an incantation, which forms a portal right in the room that you're standing in.
J78 will say, isn't teleportation magic freaking on the fritz right now? Where's this thing going to send us?
Worry not, friend. Anvil has a tether of wizards there that are ensuring that all of our teleportation will arrive safely. It's only when it's one-way teleportation that it seems to be having some trouble. Hopefully your vials won't act up, but we've placed some additional countermeasures in order to ensure that it runs smoothly for you.
So be it.
So at this point, the portal opens up in the room, and you guys can step through, and when you get there, you enter Anvil, which is what you're seeing here on the VTT. It's this fortress city that's carved into the mountain. Most of the city is actually within the mountain, but parts of it are also outside. And as you arrive, you see that this city, Anvil, is built for war. There are guards and blacksmiths chipping away, lots of noise, lots of soldiers marching about. And as you arrive, there's a wizard. He's in gray robes, one of his pointy wizard caps, and his name is, what is it? My notes. His name is... What the heck?
Looks just like a Stella 4.
Not Stella 4. He is Tyrell, actually. Tyrell the Wizard. And he sort of greets you. We've been expecting you. You're the adventurers from Grey, we presume?
Yes.
Good.
I heard you're looking for a wizard.
Indeed, Kazgat has been missing for far too long to have me comfortable. His last known location is but a couple of days from the city of Anvil. It's going to be over the mountains, and why we have requested such a small party is because you travel relatively unnoticed, especially in this area where snow orcs frequent. So we thought it better than sending a large force that could be easily ambushed or attacked to send a group that could act a bit more stealthily.
Who was the last person to have seen Kazgat alive?
Well, that would be myself. He visited me in my chambers not that long ago.
Did he say he was going to do anything or explore any areas?
He's been messing with the crystals in the crystal fields, but as far as I know, he wasn't traveling. He had already gathered what he was looking for and has been in his... He said he was heading home, at least to me.
Where are these crystal fields?
They're to the south of Anvil, and his house is to the west. So, when I saw him leave, he headed west.
Does he have any known enemies that we should be concerned about?
Well, Olo is somewhat known for enemies. There's plenty of snow orcs, ice drakes, flames. Pretty much most creatures outside of the city of Anvil could be considered hostile. But
Are any of these creatures dumb enough to approach someone walking around in silk robes?
absolutely, the snow orcs will attack anyone in sight if they think they can get the upper hand, and many of them that I encountered are not that intelligent.
So, did Kazgat then, how many times has he made this trip?
Hundreds, if not thousands. He comes once a week.
Has he ever mentioned being ambushed before?
Sometimes he laughs about it.
Any indications that perhaps something was on his tail? Did he seem more nervous this time?
Not that I could glean. He seemed like his normal, wild self, you could say.
Did he say anything out of the ordinary beyond his exploration of the Yogg crystals?
Well, most of what he says is rather unordinary, unfortunately.
For him.
Not that I can think of.
Master Irel, how far is Kazgat's home from this city?
2 days' march. Down from the mountain where Anvil is into the more forested region of Olo. It's quite well hidden, so I would be surprised if anyone could find it without already knowing him.
Can you show it to us on a map?
Yeah, he will actually provide you with a map of the area. I'll give that to Snark as well, since you apparently seem the most responsible of the group. And
Thank you, Master.
you can see, it's a short journey, 2 days march, and from what you can tell, there's no significantly dangerous terrain between you and there. There's the mountains, but when you arrived in Anvil, the weather was relatively calm.
Are there any landmarks or anything else on this map along the way?
Between you and Kazgat's house, no.
Just those mountains in the pass, right?
The mountains in the pass and the forest that you'll be entering. Oh, I guess there's a river. There's a river that is close to his house that would probably be significant, I guess.
Ask a little bit more about the orcs then. So are these orcs raiders? Are they just looting and pillaging as they go, or they seem determined to do something other than just
I'm glad
chaos?
You asked, actually. So, these orcs are definitely the raider type, but as of late, there hasn't been many raids here on Anvil. Our towers here have been left unhindered, and even our traders and travelers who have left the city or come to haven't reported that they've had much opposition.
Has that been since Kazgat's disappearance, or has that been longer than that?
Longer than that, probably about a month or two. But as you can see, and he gestures to the rest of the soldiers in Anvil, we are always prepared for the worst when it comes to orcs. They've attacked the city many times, but never breached it.
The snow orcs consider the lands that will be traveling through to Kazgat's home to be theirs by right or an expansion frontier?
I believe the snow orcs are more simple in their thoughts. Whatever they see, they usually claim, or think they can claim.
Fair enough, Master. I find, as the great goblin philosopher Fun Two once said, those who fail to know their enemy are doomed to be vanquished by them.
Indeed, and I would say that this is the case for the orcs many times. They have fought and failed dozens of times at assaulting the city.
That reminds me of the time in Tula 12. We faced some bunch of warlords over there. It was amazing. Same deal.
Ah, well, I'm glad to see someone of caliber that is ready to face the masses. Ah, another joins. Hello? Is that Sir
Hello.
Stonesaw?
Yeah,
Hail,
sorry,
Master Dwarf.
my cat escaped with the family emergency. I had to go get it.
That's alright, man. I understand. It's early there, too, isn't it?
It's only 9 o'clock. It's not too bad. 9:30.
Oh, okay. Not so bad. So, Stonesaw, what you've missed so far is we've basically been transported by portal to the city of Anvil, and in Anvil, the group is now speaking with Tyrell, the local wizard here, who's kind of in charge of things. But in the streets of Anvil, obviously, there are many dwarves, many soldiers that are always prepared for war. And he's been telling you a little bit about Kazgat and the nearby area.
Cool.
Does Kazgat go anywhere else in town besides your house, Ireel?
Once in a while, he'll make a trip to the apothecary or other places where he may glean some magical gear of sorts. Sometimes to the trading stalls. He has peculiar interests, so you never really know what he's here for. But as far as friends in the city, I would say I'm his closest.
Excellent. Does he have any other tendencies we should know about, or any places he likes to haunt around here?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think I've covered everywhere that he appears regularly.
I'll turn to our companions then, and I'll say perhaps we should check out the apothecary and the trading stalls just to see if anyone else had seen him, and perhaps then we could head out and make a plan to go out to his house.
You're welcome
Agreed,
to it.
JA78.
The stalls are not far from here.
Sounds good to me.
So it sounds like we're in concurrence to go to like the apothecary and the trading halls and just see if anyone else had seen Kazgat in that during his last visit.
Absolutely. So you make
Sorry.
your way. Oh, yep.
Sorry, when was the last time he was seen in town?
Around 2
Over
weeks
a week ago.
2 weeks ago. Is this a normal occurrence for him just to take off for?
He usually
Weeks at a
comes back to
time?
town once a week, and this is why the wizards are slightly worried, because he hasn't made his weekly visit the previous
Right.
week. So they sent some adventurers to go check on it, because he's a close friend of the wizards, and they didn't return. So now they're officially, like, kind of freaking out.
Okay. All right. Fair.
But yeah,
Okay.
he's usually gone for about a week.
Okay.
And with that, we'll say that you guys, walk over to some of the trading stalls, the apothecary, who is an old woman. Her name is Grima. She welcomes you in. Hello! Welcome to my shop. Not many foreigners, especially ones like you, she points at J78.
J78 will give a curt little bow, as he tends to do, because he doesn't know much of the culture around here, so he just goes with what he knows. And
You
then
wanna be-
he'll ask, yep, and he'll ask her. He says, "Greetings, Grima." He says, "We are actually searching for the whereabouts of the Wizard Kazgat. I've heard that he comes to this location every now and then. Did he come here recently?
Kazgat. Yes, the weird one, you could say. I think I saw him roughly 3 weeks ago. He was procuring some strange ingredients, ones that aren't frequently found in the realms of Olo. I provided him with these ingredients, though.
Do you have a list of what those ingredients are and what you think they could be used for? If you don't mind me asking.
I'll check if I have it in my receipts log here, and she starts filtering through her paperwork. Yes.
While she's doing that, I'd like to look around the store and just see, hey, what else is in the store that's of note? Is this place look? So J78's been around the block a couple times, right? He knows what evil looks like. He knows what kind of cosmic good looks like, all that type of stuff. Does he see anything in there that's kind of flipping his senses?
You would notice a number of rare ingredients here, especially those for some type of magical portent. Snark, you would as well notice most of these ingredients being a scholar of war. Many of them poisons or remedies for various types of ailments. The list that she provides for you from Kazgat mostly seems to be, strangely enough, types of self-ingested poisons that are said to provide visions.
I thank her and I say, so these things can create visions then. Did Kazgat happen to mention what he was going to use these for?
He buys them every now and then, but this particular strain is extremely potent. So he must be trying to see something. He didn't mention what that something was, though.
Thank you very much. Does he get anything else around here that you think we should know about?
I can't
I'm
speak
sorry,
on
guys.
that.
Am I coming in now?
Yeah, you're clear, Snark. I can hear you.
I'm sorry. I was trying to ask before we take off out of here to pony up to the bar, and ask the shopkeeper. It's like, one last thing, mistress. We've been charged with finding this man, and this is not the first time that we've heard that he's considered a bit eccentric. Can you tell me a little bit more about what gave you that impression?
Well, let me put it this way. If Kazgat were to walk into a room, everyone would notice. Not just by his manner of clothes, but by his manner of words.
Thank you, mistress.
He tends to...
I'll look to the group and I'll just kind of remind everybody, like, we should probably talk to Ireel before we head back and make sure we understand what Kazgat looks like. Didn't get a good description of the guy.
We can ask the shopkeep.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
So, yeah, as you're kind of discussing what he looks like, she describes him as wearing tattered robes. His face is strangely angular, very pointy. And his eyes go slightly in two different directions. He also is known to carry a large staff with a green gem in the tip of it.
Thank you, mistress.
Okay. So he wears robes in his angry face. Is he tall? Is he short? Is he thin? Is he bearded? You know, anything else you can...
He is indeed bearded. Long beard, very thin. He looks like he doesn't eat enough, if you ask me. She chuckles, holding her girth.
At least he has a beard.
Yeah. As far as we know, there was another group searching for him. Did they come in to visit you prior to looking for him?
No, I haven't seen any strange folk, especially dressed like yourselves, in quite some time.
All right.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions for her? Do you want to go visit the stalls? What do you want to do?
Let's thank her and take our leave and see if we can go to the trading stalls.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure.
You guys make your way kind of across the street. This is like the merchant's quarter of Anvil, essentially, where there's stalls of all different kinds. Probably the most significant thing here is all the dwarven smiths working heavily on pieces of armor, swords and equipment for the soldiers that is frequently damaged by the cold. You know, warping and shaping from it.
So my plan would be to ask around, just as they, they basically, I'm appraising weapons, being a soldier type myself, and looking around, looking for anything that I would assume would be magical or runic or something like that, and just asking if anyone had seen Kazgat last time he was in town or before.
Okay.
That's what I.
All right. As you're walking from stall to stall, you kind of like, hey, have you seen Kazgat? As you're browsing the wares, most people kind of look at you with a funny look. Kazgat, the wizard? He doesn't come around these parts. And they're just diligently working. Most of the gear that they're using is just simple soldier gear. It's, shields, helmets, cuirasses, swords, axes, pikes, and spears. Anything for the common soldier of varying size, for dwarves and for humans, and even those rare and few gerblins and tortons that pass through the area.
All right, any other trading stalls that look like they would be, or any other trading stalls around there besides weaponsmiths that we should investigate?
I would say there's probably some kind of mage, I don't know what, seller of magical gear, and they probably have mostly like scrolls, documents, inks, quill, maybe strange ingredients or materials that the apothecary wouldn't carry. But yeah, you can go visit them, ask them any questions if you'd like as well.
Before we leave the doors, of course, I'll sort of like give them some various news from the realms of what I've seen, and I'll ask them. I see they're obviously making weapons and armor. I'm curious as to how often they need this, and what's the current sort of danger that they have to like equip themselves for soldiers.
So you somewhat missed this part. So Anvil is almost constantly under attack by snow orcs. So the guards here are always preparing new stuff, and because of the cold, a lot of it gets damaged pretty easily.
Okay.
So this is a city, that's built for war. They're constantly fighting, so you would just recognize that. Is the Stonesaw family a very famous clan?
They're kind of, I guess, like seem like oddballs because they don't hang out necessarily like in the caves. They're always out and about wandering.
Okay.
The lands. It seems they're not your typical sort of homebody dwarf. So
one of the
I don't know if they're
the clans that one of the stalls that you walk up to when you introduce yourself as Colmeyer Stonesaw, he gives a big hearty bellow. I should get you a drink. Your cousin helped me out not long ago.
Oh, Landmeyer.
I believe that was his name.
Oh.
You Stonesaws are all
Good
a
old
fickle bunch.
Well, born with the wanderlust. So
He certainly was a wanderer.
all right. Okay.
Or we take out of here, Snark looks around the other trading stalls just to see if there is a vendor that he could perhaps purchase a extra horn of powder with the few coins that he has.
Yeah, there's definitely some guys here. The miners would have it for, carving out new areas of the city or collapsing tunnels in the case of a attack. Absolutely, you can trade some coins for a horn.
Yeah, he goes ahead and gives them what he was able to cull from his last adventure and just pick up an extra horn of powder.
Yeah, you do a simple trade. The dwarf, licks his hand and sticks it out to you. Gives it a good shake if you're willing.
And he slaps him some skin.
Awesome. All right. Any further business here at the shops?
I think Rockbar would be just enamored with all the hammering and fire involved with what the dwarves are doing, and he'll just take his leave when the rest of the folks are done.
Cool. So, do you guys want to visit that, like, magician merchant as well, or straight out into the cold?
It can't hurt before we depart. Is it nearby?
Yeah, it's in the same quarter of the city.
If you guys are into that.
Well, I think if anyone would know the wizard to be a wizard merchant, so.
Right.
Let's go for it. We quickly run across.
Yeah, so you approach the merchant. He's a tall, a young human. He seems to be tinkering with something as you approach. He kind of looks up. Something I can help you with?
We are charged with locating the Wizard Kazgat. We are wondering if he's done business with you in recent weeks.
Ah, Kazgat. Yeah, he frequents the shop often. In fact, he
When
holds
did
up
you see him last?
this device that he's tinkering with. It's a small, it looks like a metal hand that he's tinkering with. And this is actually for him. He's due to pick it up next week, I believe.
Tell us about it, friend.
Well, I don't know much. It's meant to hold some sort of magical energy, but I can't say for certain what type of energy. He was a bit vague.
We've heard he often is. And you said this was a metal hand-shaped object?
Correct.
Did he say when he'd be returning for it?
Yep, next week he's supposed to pick it up. Why? Has something gone wrong with him? I expect to be
we're
paid for
hoping
this.
And I'm sure Kazgat has more than enough to cover his bill to you. We're just here to ensure that he returns to pay it.
Ah, you see to that. This has taken me quite some time to finagle and produce.
This is beautiful work. What's it made of?
Some of the ore from inside the mountain here is quite valuable. A type of mithril.
Beautiful work, friend. Thank you for your help.
No problem. Say, while you're here, can I interest you in anything? Got all sorts of ingredients, magical gear, scrolls, spells. Whatever your heart's content.
Clark turns out his empty purse and says, "On the return trip."
Ah, I expect to see you then.
Thank you for your help, friend.
J78 will ask his name.
Darius is the name.
Darius. All right. This is hello, Darius. So, the mechanical hand that you're creating right there, made of some types of mithril, what type of energy could be held within that?
All sorts.
And did Kazgat say anything about the properties that it might have to endure?
The reason why it's cast in mithril is because he has some strong magical energy he intends to hold. I would say even the power of a Yogg could be held in this. Not an entire crystal, but a shard.
Excellent. When was the last time you actually had it was actually here?
It's been a while, actually. I told him it would take some time to produce this, so can't say it was frequently or very recently.
Excellent. When he was here, did he purchase anything else or make any other orders that would be helpful in our search for him?
I wish. People here, they don't seem to have much use for magical gear. More interested in sticking orcs with a pointy end of their blade.
There's use for all kinds, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, I'll look at the team and ask if they have anything else they'd like to ask Darius here.
I may return when I have some money.
Excellent. I'll see you to that.
We thank him for his time.
All right. So at this point, you guys are heading out of the city towards Kazgat's house, correct?
I think that's a big idea to consolidate our notes on this guy. So Kazgat was last seen here about 2 weeks ago. His house is between here and like Anvil. He's an eccentric guy. Where he was commissioning a mechanical hand, and he got some ingredients to create visions, very potent visions for himself. he's been looking like he was looking for yog crystals of some kind, which would correlate with his mechanical hand he's getting commissioned here. So we can probably assume that's what he was after. I think. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Is it worth asking Ireel, the wizard there, if there are any yog crystal fields or anything like that? I think we know there's crystal fields south of here, but was Kazgat talk about any type of a big find he had found for yog crystals or anything in particular he was looking to do with the yog crystals?
So Tyrell, he meets you back towards the gate, and he looks at you a bit confusedly. Big finds? To be honest, I doubt that Kazgat would share with me such a find. He tends to find these things quite precious. The Yog he refers to as the purest essence of the universe.
And J70 would agree with that because he goes, yeah, those things are powering ships where I'm from. I mean, yeah.
I'd be interested in hearing more about that in the future.
And so with that, fellas, do you have anything else you want to ask him?
I'm just curious, does anyone have any, like, climbing gear or anything before we head out into the potential crevasses of the glaciers or anything?
I have the polar pack, which has rope in it, but I don't have the climbing gear.
I don't have any money anyways.
I don't have any space. I guess I do in my carried gear, technically.
Climbing gear you're asking about, Stonesaw. You know, I have a friend. Let me, he walks off, and a few moments later, he approaches with a dwarven compatriot. These fellows were interested in some climbing gear. Do you happen to have any? And the dwarf kind of nods. Of course. We use it all the time for repairs. I can loan you some if you promise to return it later.
But of course, the dwarf's word is his bond. Like the rock itself, not give away freely. Thank him, and
this dwarf speaks true.
No.
You're welcome to my gear, and he passes you a bundle of climbing gear.
And I give him the dwarf sort of salute and thank him heartily.
He gives you a big dwarven hug. Good luck out there. It's cold this time of year.
Thank you, friend.
A little bit awkward. I'm good to go.
All right.
If we have everything we need and we give each other one last look and once over, we will go ahead and head through the gate and head west on the road through the forest toward Kazgat.
So is the trail single file? Is it multiple lanes big? Like, do we need to get a marching order for you? What do we need for you here, brother?
Definitely no marching order. It's pretty much open, plains here. It's quite barren. There's not even trees at this point where you are in the glaciers. So it's pretty easy to navigate through this area.
Pretty wide open.
Like a high alpine pass.
Exactly. So essentially, you travel for around 1 day in this pass without too much fuss. There's not really any trouble. But on the second day, heavy snow starts to beset you. And as you are marching, it becomes harder and harder to keep track of where exactly it is that you're trying to go. The snows become so thick and blurring your vision that even your tracks behind you start to disappear quickly. So at this point, I'm going to need someone to kind of call out the direction that you're heading in.
So J70 will look at his companions and say, all right, how many, so we're like a day out is what you said?
Yep.
Okay. He'll look at him and say, okay, do we have enough supplies to be able to outlast this storm? Or do you think we need to drive on?
I feel like the longer that we're exposed in this high pass, the more danger we will invite.
Do we want to find shelter?
I would like to press on.
I think being on the move is the smartest choice.
So be it. So J78's not really affected by the weather, so so he's like, I'm worried about you fleshies. And so
Fleshies keep warm by keeping on the move.
Yep. So how do you want to do the direction here, fellas? Do you want to, who wants to call that out?
I'll call it out. We have although who has the highest wisdom?
I have a.
That's probably our priest friend.
Yeah,
I have a +3 as well.
go ahead.
Yeah, I have a 3 wisdom.
Let me turn the map over to him.
Excellent. Yeah, so Stonesaw, your ability is you're a scout, right? So you can get easy already.
Right.
So all you have to do is not roll a 1, and you will be able to navigate.
Alrighty.
Excellent.
Good job.
So Stonesaw, he's used to traveling overland and underground, and it's a bit easier for him to just keep on a direction. He kind of finds the sun, and sticks in that direction.
Yeah, J78 also recommends that we tie each other together so we don't get lost in the storm.
Interesting proposition.
Excellent idea.
So if we have some climbing gear or a rope or something, just kind of tie it off to each other so that way we don't get lost behind our navigator. Especially if this thing's looking as bad as it's looking.
Like, how big is JA78? Is he like huge?
He's about 7.5 feet.
Yeah, I mean, we could just tie up to him and he could just drag it. He could just drag us there.
Well, if the spoon falls into a hole, he could like. Well, if he doesn't fall into a hole, we're fine, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so JA78, you're tying the rope at the front of yourself, and then I imagine Stonesaw's behind you because you're kind of the navigator. And then are we going Ruckbar and then Snark in terms of the rope?
Yeah, Snark will just hang on to the loop at the end and bring up the rear.
Okay, cool. So at this point, as you guys are like tying up yourselves and orienting in the snow, I'm gonna need everyone except the robot to make a con check as the snow begins to bite. And Rookbar because you have a polar pack.
Oh, I don't have to?
Yeah, you don't have to, Rookbar, because you got the polar pack.
Cool.
Yeah, both of you, the movement is keeping you nice and warm.
Snark pulls the ebony hood around his ears to keep warm.
Nice. And everyone now, I would like to make a wisdom check.
Good to go.
Oh.
All right, so Snark and Rookbar, what's your mod to wisdom?
0. He's not
Okay.
the smartest
So Snark,
or sharpest.
you can hear what sounds like voices carried on the wind.
Okay. Do I have a rough idea of direction?
Because of the snowstorm, it's almost impossible to tell what direction it's coming from.
Okay.
But you could definitely hear it. You couldn't make out any words, and in fact, it didn't sound like a language that you spoke, or speak, I should say.
Oh, okay. All right. I alert my companions.
J78 will ask where the voices came from. Do they sound hostile? And he'll recommend we form a quick perimeter to assess the situation.
Stonesaw asked, "Do you speak Orc?"
What was that, Stonesaw? Didn't hear you.
I
Oh,
didn't hear you,
no,
bro.
Stonesaw asked him. Oh, Stonesaw asked if he speaks Orcish. He said he didn't make out understand them.
Let's do an intelligence check. Let's see if you speak Orcish.
Nope.
Yeah, so you wouldn't know if it was Orc or not. So you guys are like kind of forming a perimeter here, it sounds like? kind of circling up.
That's what JA78 would recommend. So if there's voices on the wind, we need to stop, kind of look, listen, smell the whole idea, and see if we can assess if that's a threat or not.
That sounds reasonable. Do we all want to take positions if JA78 wants to lead?
Yeah, like are there like snowdrifts or rocks or something we can kind of, well, at least the smaller people hide behind?
Yeah, I guess what my question for you would be is, what kind of shelter are you looking for? One that you can hide behind, like a big enough outcropping or drift, or something that's more like cover, like some
ideal would
like
be
hip height.
Yeah, ideal would be cover and concealment, but it depends on what's closest to us, right? I'd want to get to a place where we have some type of a cover for ranged weapons.
Okay.
And also the ability to kind of see out to see where in the direction of these voices. That's what he'd recommend anyway.
Especially if it were right up against like a bluff, so we kind of had our back to a wall and weren't going to get surrounded.
Okay. So if we look at our VTT here, we can see, like, we'll say that this left like mountain face here. If you want, we can kind of position ourselves in this. Maybe there's some nooks and crannies that you can like hide. So you, like, your back is to the cliff, and then in front of you there's some like rocks that are jutting out that you can kind of duck behind. This sort of deal.
Yeah, that
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Must be waiting.
So if
J78 recommends you stay close to him because, well, he can give his defensive stat to you guys.
All right, if you're gonna hide, I'm gonna need stealth rolls for everybody.
Well, I'm just hiding behind a rock, and which isn't very good for J78 considering it's a giant robot. But
Just cover you with snow. You're a giant rock.
Yeah. Here, I'll make a roll though.
Yeah, Ruckbar leaves like giant footprints leading up to where he's hiding.
Okay. Jay, I assume that's just a flat roll for you.
Yeah, it's flat roll for me for that.
Okay, so
my points are in strength and constitution.
Snark and Stonesaw, you both are quite well hidden behind some rocks. And
Or the giant robot.
The giant robot is unfortunately pretty obvious. Rookbar is
I was gonna say, and as the others are taking advantage of JA78's excellent defender ability, Snark will drop the loop at the end of the rope and find different cover, still within near distance of his pals, but slightly separate, so that so he can provide some secure overwatch.
All right. So at this point, now that you're kind of in cover, you're looking through the blistering snow, trying to look for any figures, any movement in the distance, both in front of you and above you, because it's very hard to tell where the voices were coming from. But all of you hear the voice at this point. It is definitely not human. And with the voice, there comes a mighty rumbling. And as you look behind you at the mountain that you've kind of nestled yourselves into, you see tiny bits of snow begin to roll down it, and then more and more and more, and you realize now that you are about to be caught in an avalanche.
So JA78 recommends we get away from the damn cliffside and try to move away from the snow. And then he says in the last minute, we're probably not going to get out of this. So he recommends everybody swim up. He says, I'll be fine, but you guys better start swimming.
Yeah, I imagine something JA78 is like, we should move away. And then at this point, the snow just starts pouring into you guys. And to hold your ground in the snow, to not be pushed.
We're all tied together, aren't we?
Except
Are we all
Snark,
tied
yeah.
to the robot? Oh.
Snark let go. So at this point, if you guys want to hold your ground, not be swallowed by the snow, I'm going to need either a strength or a con roll.
So that's an 18 for JA78.
Success.
That's
Oh,
18
yes,
for me.
With con, it's only 11.
All right, so as the group of you who are tied together, you're kind of holding your ground in the snow as it piles in front of you. you look to where Snark was, and his head is gone now. And Snark, as the snow crushes into you, you take 3 damage, and you're now kind of beneath the snow, rolling with it down the mountain face.
Okay.
So as the snow or as the avalanche passes and we're able to withstand that, J78 will try to keep track of where Snark was as best he can, but he's also going to be on the lookout for where those voices came from. And as he kind of digs his way out of it with everybody else, he'll start heading towards where Snark is to try to start that process of digging him out of there, but also kind of keep his eyes on the horizon to see if he can find where these voices are.
Go ahead and make
kind of doing 2 things as he's walking towards it.
Yeah, do a wisdom check for
easy.
me. So I'm going to ask... Oh, no, that's a hard. So you can find both where Snark was, and you can see that the voices was carried down the mountain. So from your, from your hearing, you kind of, I imagine with this robotic, you kind of got better sonar, or whatever you want to call it, and you can detect the voices coming from above you. It's not from nearby. It's carried quite a distance.
As I'm digging Snark out, I will be telling everybody that that's where the voices are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
How far up is that?
The cliff is, a couple miles to the top of this mountain peak.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So J78, he's sort of digging Snark out here. What about Stone Saw and Ruckbar? What are the 2 dwarves doing?
I think Ruckbar probably would assist JA78 in digging out Snark.
Okay.
Also, I'll keep an eye on where he thinks the avalanche came from. And keep an eye out for another potential threat.
Yeah, Stonesaw, as you look up the mountain, you can see that more of these bits of snow are forming up there. There's definitely another wave about to come.
Hurry up, Metal Man. There's more snow coming.
J78's giving it all she's got.
Dig, 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 dig.
He's like a.
Do I get to take any action, or am I just chilling in the snow?
So Snark,
Literally.
as you're buried in the snow and crawling, not sure which direction is up anymore, you suddenly see this metal hand pulling snow, and then you can see the sky, and you can kind of crawl to the top, is what I imagine. But you can make an action still once you crawl out.
I was gonna just say, believing in my metal friend and his companions, and trusting in that, I'm gonna just sit tight where he knew I went down and charge my ring.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. He kind of yanks you up. And now that
found you.
Now that you have yanked him up, the second wave of snow hits, and I'm gonna need.
So if I can, I'll try to throw everyone behind me, so that way the snow hits me instead of them, at least as best I can, right?
Okay.
And just say brace up.
Make a hard strength check, and we'll see if you can kind of do one of those Ents from Lord of the Rings as the water comes.
If he takes the bulwark position, can we all lend him assistance to make that a normal roll?
Okay, yeah.
He got it. He got it anyway. So.
Yeah. So JA78, he kind of says, "Get behind me," and the snow kind of creates this cone around him. But as you are looking now, it's getting worse. There's more coming. And you realize that it is now either the time to move or find better cover.
Yeah, so J78 highly recommends we move.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's run.
All right, you guys start booking it down the cliff face, snow kind of tumbling at your feet. And as you get, a couple minutes, maybe 20 minutes, the snow that is blistering all around you suddenly stops. And this is just as you come to essentially the top of the tree line in this alpine region. And as you look back...
As we were running, did we keep track of where the trail was? And are we still in that same
That's what I was about to ask.
General dress. Yeah.
Stonesaw, can you give us a little bit of guidance here? Uh-oh.
That's only 8.
But you have the map, and you are a scout, so you're good, actually.
Well,
the 2 is enough.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Plus
just
3
enough.
wisdom, plus 3 DC. Okay.
So,
Forgot about the map.
Stonesaw keeps his bearings through all of this, and he can
Well
tell
done.
that you're going in the right direction. And I would like to mention that now as you look back towards the direction of this mountain, the snow, storm, and the avalanche seems to be focused on this singular mountaintop. Very peculiar weather pattern. And let me just do this. Let's drag you guys to the top of the Alpine region now. You kind of come out into the trees. At this point, you know you're not far from Kazgat's house, according to both the map and Stonesaw's wit. You know, you can make out that you're pretty close. And here, the forest is eerily silent. You know, it's like one of those winter days where there's no birds. It's cloudy. Like something is amiss.
Yeah, I'll ask the group and be like, okay, so it looks like we have a odd weather pattern on that mountain right there, but we're close to where Kazgat's house is. What's the play? Do we want to head towards Kazgat's house and investigate that, or investigate this mountain first? J78 will recommend we go to the house.
Snark agrees, and he'd like to take a moment to suck it up and get back con +1.
Yeah, make a recovery roll. Yep.
I think Rockbar would be into going to the
full.
house.
Okay.
Someone started kind of hold up his hands like, hold on, it's like there's something amiss. He's just kind of take a bearing, like, why is it? So he has a feeling that something's not quite right. He wants to take a couple quick little looks around, see if there's any kind of, I don't know, just to feel his. I just wonder why things are kind of odd.
Okay, it's a little hard to hear you, but what I'm hearing is you want to look around because you feel like something's amiss?
Yeah, something's up. So he's just kind of he has a sixth sense, like something's a little eerie. So he just wants to poke around a little bit, listen to the wind,
Okay.
listen,
Make a wisdom check for me.
figure that out.
Nice.
As you scan, the area around you, you come across a kind of a shallow divot in the snow. And from your days of traveling in the snow that usually means that something was laying there. So you decide to dig a little into the snow, and you find a corpse. It's face down right now, so you don't know if it's a human or something else, but it's in the snow pretty far down.
In the shallow divot, a corpse.
Yeah, J78 will say,
And
ask what
I
you
guess
found
that's
there and kind of provide you cover while you dig it out.
Corpse. Yeah. If I can discern what the life form was and possibly how they ended up in this state.
You flip the being over, and it's an orc. It's a dead orc. You can see he still has some of his stuff on him, and the manner of his death appears to be some kind of evisceration. He's been bit is the only way I could describe it. His side is missing a large amount of flesh. One of his legs or his feet is completely gone. It looks like something took a mighty big chomp out of him.
While they are investigating, Snark would like to come to the top of this outcropping and again maintain secure overwatch.
Okay. Go ahead and do a wisdom check for me as well, Snark.
Nope.
So you scan the horizon looking for anything obscure. You do not see nada. Rookbar, in the midst of all this, what are you doing?
He'd probably make his way to this opening over here
Okay.
between the rocks and just kind of look out in that direction to see what's going on.
Sure. Go ahead and make another wisdom check for me.
Nope.
And that's flat as well. So yeah, you're also kind of peering down this sort of natural pathway. Rockbar, what you do notice is the river, and you can only presume that this is the river that Tyrael mentioned to you, or Tyrael.
He'll mention it to his team. Looks like there's a river down there.
J78 will ask whoever was exploring the corpse. Sorry, I forgot your name off the top of my head. But he'll say, does the corpse look like it's been there for the whole winter, or is this a recent kill? And what do these bite marks look like? Does it look like any vermin we need to be concerned about in the woods?
So Stonesaw can discern that the corpse is
sorry.
relatively fresh. It's probably less than a week old, based on its state of decay, but it's always hard to tell when it's this cold outside. As far as the bite marks, it's definitely a large creature, something that could fit a whole arm into its mouth, just because of the size of the chomp and its side there. It's kind of like a crescent moon in its kidney area, I would say.
J78 says, this is just like that time in the just like that time at ACOM Echo. But with that time, it was interesting because the creatures would eat the people. So if this thing just has a bite mark, maybe it was just testing the waters like a shark that didn't know what it was. You guys know what sharks are?
Never heard of it.
He says, okay, well, inconsequential. Regardless, he says, if this creature isn't all the way eaten, that means whatever bit it just bit it and walked away. Which means it could be malignant. It could be just something that it explored a territory it wasn't supposed to be in.
And lastly, Stonesaw, as you are looking over this corpse, you see that there may be something useful. Its cloak looks quite warm. It's meant for winter travel. And do you want to take that?
How big is it? Like, it would be too big for me, or I guess I can just. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's
we could
big,
cut
but
it in
you could
half.
easily get it refitted.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I mean, he's a pretty practical kind of guy.
Yeah, you
Yes,
grab
no
the warm cloak off its corpse. He doesn't need it anymore.
Just exactly.
All right.
Do you know how long ago the last expedition went out to find Kazgat? Was it a week ago, or
Around a week ago,
trying to
yes.
figure out? So I said, well, last expedition left a week ago. I wonder if this is one of the ones that did not return. I have no idea. Yeah, so I searched. Did he have any papers on him? Any kind of like markings that who he was?
He is orc, so no, he's not carrying any papers.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I said,
That's
it
orc.
looks like it was about a week ago, but other than that, you can't discern much in there. So I just
Okay.
dropped your new item in the chat there.
Oh,
Perhaps
yes.
perhaps a bag of noses. All the orcs in Eradrum carry bags of noses.
Gross.
So J78 will ask and start looking around for whatever bit this thing, if there's any signs of its trail, any signs of its tracks, anything like that that's around here that might be able to discern what it is.
Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Yeah, let's see what we do. Nope, can't find anything.
Yeah, it's been a week.
While he's doing that, Snark's going to take one more look around to see if something's coming, but he's coming up short. The wind.
So at this point, you can all hear something. It sounds like flapping of wings. And as you look to the north, it would be, you can see the image of something great and winged, behind the cloud. It is very large, whatever it is. Definitely large enough to have bitten whatever this orc. And it seems to be circling.
J78 will say, "Hello, looks like that mystery's solved." He says, "I recommend we keep the cover of the trees and keep heading towards the house. If the thing attacks, we'll just stay close."
All right, so is everybody kind of on board to just head right for the house at this point?
Yeah, Snark's going to jump down
Yeah.
from the rock put one more charge in the ring if I can and be on my way.
So, Stonesaw, since you're leading the group, I kind of want you to make the stealth roll for you. You're kind of like signaling to them, move with me now, to stay hidden.
Oh.
No. The dice do not
really.
favor you today.
Well, JS78's gleaming in the sun, too, so it's hard to hide.
That is true.
Okay. That's only a 3.
So this great winged beast, it kind of spots you at this point. It's a predator of some kind, and you see its wings sort of fold up as a predatory bird does to start soaring towards you. And as it breaks through the cloud,
gonna brace up.
You can see that it is a drake, a massive ice drake.
If it's coming right for me, J78 will brace up and say, "Get near me, boys. We're about to get it on."
It comes close and lands atop this sort of perch here. It's rumbling, and you notice that as it gets closer, it kind of eases up. It looks like it's in an aggressive stance when it starts to head for you, but as it gets closer, it sort of relaxes its stance and lands on this perch. It looks you over. It speaks. You are no orcs?
Yep, and J78 says, "And you're no Drake that I know of that talks."
I am one of the great drakes of Olo. You would bow before speaking to me, being.
He says, "I don't bow to many things, dragon." He says, "What's your business here in the woods?"
These are my woods. You will bow, or you will perish.
Snark's already on his knees, but he looks up and he says, "Hail, Master Drake. I am Snark, friend of many. We apologize for the intrusion. We are searching for a lost companion."
A companion? I have not seen you in these woods before. What companion do you seek?
He is a wizard from Olo.
A wizard. Its head perks, concerned. Have you
Believe me, Master.
an offering?
Believe me, Master Drake. Only our services in removing this wizard from your territory.
The wizard is our territory.
What would you see done to him, Master Drake?
I would see you leave. Or give offering.
Rockfire just says, yeah, we were just leaving this way, and he points towards the house.
You may go to the house, but beware of my woods. I will not take kindly to trespassers in my forest.
Stonesaw offers, what if we offer you the heads of many orcs? We believe that they sent an avalanche down upon us earlier. That the dwarves have no love for orcs.
The drake chuckles heartedly. You bring me orc heads. This is something I would greatly appreciate.
If we find them, of course. We're not going hunting for orcs, but if they come across our path, their head is yours.
I accept this treaty. My name is Garudan. If you are to meet my brothers, then you can say that I have allowed you to pass. However, they are a bit more wary of outsiders than I.
J78 will ask how many brothers he has.
I have two brothers, Suros and Hydranix.
And where are their lairs so we can make sure to avoid them?
They are to the north. It is our lair.
And then Stone Saw will ask, "Are they as mighty as you, or like, there's no way they could be mightier, right, Sir Gowerjohn?"
You honor me. Hydranax is our leader. He is the mightiest of the drakes here.
Thank you, Master Drake.
He
All right.
gives you one last look over, his eye boring into your soul, and then he leaves, taking flight once again.
J78 will look at his companions and say, "Yeah, see? You got out of that one unscathed. All right, let's go to the house."
Stone Saw lets go of his dagger just because it's okay.
The relief sighing from his chest, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, evening has begun to set as you now find your way to the house. The door is kicked open, the windows blasted, and no fire or smoke emits from the chimney. It looks abandoned.
So the idea J78 would have is he would recommend that we walk around the house first, look through the windows, look around it, see if there's any tracks or trails leading to it or from it, and then peer in a window and then knock on the door. That's how he would recommend it.
Is not the door open?
Yeah, the door is wide open.
Oh, well,
So,
then in that case,
But from the level of snow, can I tell how long it's been open?
Several days.
Okay. I'll say it's been several days since it's been kicked open. Looking peering through
begins
windows.
to investigate.
Yeah.
Snark will pull up again on the perimeter, keep watch, and put a charge in the ring.
Okay. All right, Stonesaw, I heard you want to go and look in the windows.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it's like with the wind and the snow. I don't think there are any tracks available if it's been a few days since it was open. So I'll just look through the window.
Make a wisdom check. Target's 12.
Was that if that's easy, then it's a 13.
Your
If it's
ability
not,
is
it's
only
only
for
10.
scouting, right?
Okay, so it's 10. Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be plus 3, 10.
So as you walk up to the house and peer into the window, you can see that this place has been ransacked. Drawers are bashed open, the bed is overturned, the table is knocked over, the cabinets are flung open. There appears to be very little of value left in the house.
So a J78 will search for signs of whatever did this. Obviously, it was a humanoid of some type. It wanted something inside the house, so maybe perhaps we can find any signs of what that could be.
Okay, make a wisdom check. Or intelligence, both is okay, actually. Yeah, you start scanning the ground. With the fresh fallen snow, you don't see any tracks of any sort. When you go into the house, though, or I guess when you stand in the doorway, I should specify, you can see black blood, and you know this to be orc blood on the ground in the house.
So J78 would relay that information to the group and say, looks like there was some type of a fight, and that some orc was at least wounded or killed, because his blood is right there. And he would recommend we actually search the rest of the house and go inside.
Rookbar, what are you doing?
I think initially he would have gone just outside the door and peeked in, but then after everybody has told me the information, I'd probably go inside.
Okay, yeah, you go inside, you start to, filter through different objects. You can see, pages of books torn out.
With all that blood, J78 would be looking for the body.
There are no bodies in the house, but Rookbar, why don't you make a wisdom check for me? All right. As you scan through the house, checking to see if there's anything at all of any value. You do find something. Can you go ahead and roll me a D100? You can do that by double-clicking on the 10. 61, okay. 61. You find in one of the cabinets, being a dwarf, of course, some stashed gar.
Nice.
It is hard gar cider. Food. Ignore the next 10 damage done to you when drinking.
Wow.
Nice.
I was getting a little thirsty.
Her dwarvish nose picked up the scent of the forgotten gar, for sure.
Jay sent me to look at his companions and say, well, we know that at least orcs were here. Whether they fought or not, or what they fought about, we can't tell. We also can't tell if the orcs were the ones that actually captured Kazgat, or if he was even here when they ransacked it. However, we just know that there's a pile of blood, so they at least scuffled over something, or had a fight.
While his companions search the house, while Snark is maintaining the perimeter, he'd just like to walk around the outside of the cabin and see what he sees.
Yeah, go ahead and make a wisdom check. Or intelligence, both is okay here.
He's got neither, apparently.
The 2s tonight. Yeah, as you start to look around the house, you don't see any tracks, any signs of any specific types of creature besides the freshly fallen snow. And at this point, I'm just going to drop this guy in here. And we're going to start going in turns now as we're kind of investigating the house. You can go in any order, but I just want to make sure everyone kind of gets one turn. So whoever wants to jump
If we
first.
don't have any clues, fellas, what I'd recommend is perhaps we can go talk to that Drake. Now, J78 doesn't care for that Drake, but perhaps Snark or someone can talk to him and see if he knows anything about what's going on with this wizard.
Stonesaw definitely had good rapport with them. Snark is going to, again, just stay where he is. I'll put another charge in the ring.
Okay. How about Stonesaw or Rookbar? What are you guys doing?
Well, Rockbar would probably leave the house and just say, yep, hold up the guard and say, I think we're done with our journey here. Let's go back. Then he jokingly says that. And then he climbs up this little steep cliff here, or kind of hill-like area, and he'll just look out and see if there's anything noticeable.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit me with a wisdom. So, Rookbar, as you get the high ground, what you notice around the house that was extremely hard to notice from ground level are all these little mounds of snow that are slightly higher than the others. And you sort of point these out to your friends. There, and there.
So J78 will go investigate one of mounds. At least one.
Yeah, J78 puts a metal arm into the hole, grabs hold of something, and yanks it out, and it is the corpse of a orc. This orc has been blasted with some kind of magic. You can tell from the scarring on his once armor.
So I'll start going to each hole and pulling these things out and piling their bodies up so I can investigate it.
Okay.
Maybe we could collect the heads, and it's less work for us. And the dragon
offer
will be
it to that
happy.
Drake and perhaps get some information out of him.
And since there are no bodies left to investigate, I will charge the ring again.
Stonesaw first. Hold on, Snark.
Oh, sorry. When all of the corpses were gone, I'm sorry. I thought we were on the next turn again.
Yeah, no.
How many?
No, I'm just starting to do that, right? So it's going to take
Yeah.
a minute to pull them all.
How many orcs are there? Has he found how many mounts?
So, Rookbar
Roughly.
counts out at least 15 mounts.
Holy smokes! A lot of
It's a
heads.
battle.
Yeah. There was a fight here. And
Okay. Well.
now, Snark, you do your little thing. Stonesaw,
Okay.
I heard your voice coming up. What did you want to say?
Oh, it's just like, what time of day is it?
It's late afternoon. Starting to get twilight is how I would describe it. similar to what we see in the picture here.
All right. I'll definitely take a head just to like appease the Drake to say that yes, look, we got Orcs, and because it's frozen, I'm not worried about a mess so far.
Yeah.
But I'll start taking a head as well. I kind of keep, I was like cutting it off. I'm looking around, make sure nothing's gonna like sneak up on me as I'm taking a foul trophy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think so fellas, is the idea here that we're going to be just collecting up these heads of these orcs, kind of investigating the source of their deaths, and maybe bringing these heads back to that Drake for more information, or what do we want to do here?
I think Rutbar would be concerned about actually finding the Drake. Like where, do we know exactly where he is? Or do we like yell out?
I'd just
like,
go back to the
"Hey!"
same place. That's what J78 would recommend.
Well, the forest. I mean, we know it's they're north, but I mean, if we take one, we're showing that we are kind of like taking Orcs. But he seemed to like not have like too high of an opinion of the wizard because he's such a mighty animal, so he doesn't really care. I'd be more interested in maybe find the Orcs, but maybe hunker down for the night in the cabin and then go for the Orcs in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna get dark soon.
Okay. So J78, you're kind of walking around, reaching your metallic hand into these mounds, pulling out dead orcs, and each one has a myriad of different magical effects splattered into it. Some have like what look like roots popping from their throats. Some have their arms blasted asunder from spells. Others are just missing pieces of their flesh, like they've been teleported away.
So it was definitely the work of a wizard.
Yeah, Kazgat was here.
Or at least someone with magical powers was here that defended the place.
Alright, so I'm going to tick this down again. Let's start with Rukbar. What are you doing at this point? As you see your friends start to investigate the corpses, you notice the sun is dwindling. I heard you recommend hunkering down for the night, kind of.
Yeah, I think he would probably go into the cabin and make it livable at least, and maybe grab a sheet or something to wrap the heads up in.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we can maybe drag that, and then just kind of hang out in the house. And can I just recharge my memory ring?
Yeah, absolutely. You can charge your ring. Go ahead and roll that d6 and just mark it down for yourself.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Rukbar
So he'll
kind of
just
finds a sheet. People start chopping heads and throwing them into the sheet.
yeah, and he'll just hang out in the house then.
Okay.
Afterwards.
How about Snark?
Snark will place a final charge in his ring and then head inside. Okay, that does it for me. I'm plus 16.
All right. Stone Saw.
He doesn't want to go in the house just yet. Not until it gets dark. So he's gonna try to maybe find kind of a defensible position where he can kind of hunker down from the snow and just keep an eye out for any incoming threats or what have you.
Make a wisdom check.
Be 14.
As you're kind of scanning the horizon, you hear on the wind the sound of barking of dogs.
Okay. That's interesting.
And you do find a somewhat defensible position. I'd say it's a large rock that you can hide behind, or shoot arrows from behind to the right side of the house.
Yeah, he'll hide there. He was and he'll just quickly let someone know that there's something approaching. At least they're dogs. But...
Okay. How about J78? What are you doing at this point?
So what J78's going to do, he'll make note of where Stone Saw is there. Make sure he's tracking that. Then he's going to start barricading the house to the point to make it defensible. I mean, he doesn't need to sleep, so he's not going to sit there and do that.
Okay.
And just make sure that the place is defensible and that he has a good lay of all the entries and exits to the house. And then he'll pretty much just stand a vigilance near the door.
Yeah, so actually what we're looking at on this side of the house, these are the only doors is on this side. There's one window on the back side of the house, but because of the slope of the mountain, that is a large token. Let me help you out there.
Thank you.
No problem.
Tiny.
Because of the slope
Thank
of the
you.
hill on the far side of the house, it'd be very hard to approach from this side. You know that if something is to come, it would have to come from, the direction at the bottom half of the screen here. Or from, I guess, above, but yeah. You seem fairly confident that it would come from the southern direction.
And
And all J78 will do is warn everybody that this is a flammable location, and so it might catch on fire. But otherwise, he'll stand vigilance at the door.
All right, as you're now standing at the door, Stonesaw, you're the first one to make out the sounds of the barking. And what you see are orcs pulled by large wolves on top of, what's it called, a toboggan? No, that's not the right word.
Toboggan's the right word.
Toboggan is the right word. Okay, yes.
Or
Atop
a
of,
sled.
a sled, yes, on top of the
Yeah,
snow
sled.
sleds.
Like a
And
dog sled.
they are heading for the house. There is 6 of them.
Okay. I'll try to alert the house quietly, but I'm just gonna stay hidden.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say since you spent your last action kind of finding a good spot, you're just hidden. They don't know where you are.
Okay. Sure. That's cool.
The others, and now JA78, you're kind of just standing in the door?
So what I've done is I barricaded the door, right? And so I'm standing vigilance near the door in order to basically help and be on the lookout. Now, if I know that there's something coming, for example, when I talked to Stonesaw before I walked in the house and he heard dogs, if we're going to start some combat, well, then I'll throw my my banner action over to Stonesaw there so he can have an easy roll on this next.
Nice.
And then I'll just kind of be at the door like rogering up, get my shoulders ready.
Clarification: are there windows adjacent to the door on the same side of the house?
Yes, so there is a window so this house is essentially 2 rooms. It's like a kitchen living area and then a bedroom. The door on this side of the house, this is like the living area and the kitchen, and there's a window there, and in the bedroom there's also 2 windows.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
my question for JA78 then is, are you trying to remain hidden in the house, or are you kind of looking out the window?
I have cover, I don't have concealment.
Okay, sounds good.
And well, yeah, I guess they'd have to look in the house to see me, so I guess that's kind of concealment, but but I'm not overtly trying to hide.
How about Stark? What are you doing at this point?
I have. I'm definitely posted up in that window outside. Basically, the window that I'm covering with my token right there.
Okay.
And I am inside the house, looking out as discreetly as I can. Thumbs down at the ready.
Do a dex check for stealth as you're kind of peeking your head out the window to watch them approach. Oh, nice. Yeah, you are uber hidden. Take a hero coin for the 20.
Thank you.
Since it was not a very rollable action. And Rookbar, how about you?
He'd probably look at his Gerblin friend here and follow up with his thump gun and just kind of have it ready in the window.
Okay.
Like old Western style.
So,
Stealth roll.
are you more stealthy or more aiming?
I'm gonna try to be stealthy.
Okay, dex check for you then as well.
Not sure if I'm gonna pull it off, but yeah. He's clunk is sticking that way out, It's just pretty obvious.
All right, at this point, the sled dogs arrive. The first group of them make their way to the top of this structure, and they see Rookbar's head sort of peeking out of the window. One of the orcs points at him and shouts out something in Orcish. And as he does this, they start shooting. They have bows as they're riding. So 3 of them all take shots at this one window where Rookbar is. He's the only one they see.
If he's near me, which I don't know if he's near me or not, he would get my defense. But
Since
if
he's in a separate room, I'm gonna say no.
yeah, I'm with
Do
you.
I get cover from the being inside the building?
I will say yes. So what's your defense?
16.
Okay, so just 1 will hit then. So one of the arrows flies true and catches you in the shoulder for 4 damage. Stonesaw, where you are at this point, you can see the next group is coming up, but they're remaining a little bit further away. They're kind of like seeing what the other group is doing. They're kind of like waiting for something. And why don't, at this point, we all make a d20? Let's get some initiative going. Alright, so J78, then Snark, then Rookbar, then Stonesaw. Alright. Mr. Robot, iRobot, you're first.
All right, I'm giving my banner ability over to Stonesaw since he's exposed out there, and I'm bracing up, getting ready to. Whoever comes charging at that door first, they got to cross that barricade, and they're going to get my integrated vibro stored right in their face.
Okay. I'll say that if a creature comes in the door, you can attack.
That's what I'm doing.
Snark.
Are they all within near range?
I would say 1 is within near. The other 2 are more far. I'll kind of position these guys a little better, more clearly.
Okay. Fascinating.
Oops, didn't mean to ping.
Well, they are orcs. They do appreciate a show of strength. So the lead orc there,
Mhm.
I blow him away with my thumb gun.
You raise that trigger. Oh yeah, that nails him.
+4.
Hit me with the damage.
Mod 20.
Yeah, that hits. To say the least.
20 points.
How many points of damage?
I used my ring on top of a 4 with 16 charge.
Oh, okay, yeah. The orc rider is eviscerated. He pops into a bloody mist. His dogs, however, are very alert. So let me mark this guy as dogs only. And now we're to Rookbar.
Oh, I thought I was last.
Oh, nope. You are second to last.
Second. Okay. I'll probably just, because the dogs are in front of me, I'll just fire a volley at them with my thumb gun.
Okay, hit me.
Nope.
Nothing to the dex.
No.
Oh, okay. you kind of wily coyote, or what's the dude who shoots a lot? Blast, and the shots go wide.
Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, Elmer Fudd. That's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking of.
I picture him just being really like clumsy with the hammer and like sticking his tongue out. He's like, I don't know how this works. It just just very clumsy, I should say. Yeah.
All right, Stonesaw.
Okay. All right. Is anyone within like a knife throwing range?
Yeah, both these ones in front of you are within knife throwing range. They're near to you.
Okay. All right. I'll pop up and I'll yell like the Drake's name as I chuck a knife at say this one or whatever.
Okay.
Ping him, but
Gotcha.
Remember, you got an easy roll.
He does indeed have an easy roll.
only a 10.
10 is enough. You hit.
Oh, sweet.
See that weapon effort.
That'll be a 7.
Okay, and since you called out the Drake's name, I would like you to make a charisma check.
Yes.
So-
Straight roll.
As you call out the name, the orcs tense up. They notice this. They're like, wait, what did he just say? And the two orcs that are close to you both point at you, and they're like, Ikle, Ikle! And you can only assume that means, like, get him. The dogs that are separate from their rider, they start running around the house because they're still attached to the sled that is now riderless. So they can't get in the door. There's no way for them to get in. So they start riding around the house, and they're going to start like kind of looping around. This guy is going to head this way. He sees, Snark pop his head up and take this shot, but then he immediately notices Rookbar, and just that next arrow lets fly from his sled. He will miss though, and then this one, he rides forward towards Stonesaw, and he draws a large blade from his back, and he's gonna try and do like kind of a ride by, and swipe at you as he rides his sled right on by behind you. So let's see what happens here. That'll be 10, which I'm assuming misses Stonesaw.
Yes, miss.
Okay, cool. At this point, the next group of them ride up. The call of Ikle seems to have made them want to come. They are threatened. And we're back to the top of the order with JA78.
All right, I'll give my banner to the to Stonesaw again, and I'm bracing up. First thing that comes through that door is getting a vibro blade in their chest.
All right, same thing going on. Snarky.
Okay, Snark switches to the boom tube. He sticks that out the window,
Okay.
and he takes aim at. Let's see, maybe the center of these orcs out here.
Okay.
And he's going to touch it. It's a hard aim, and he's going to touch it off.
Okay, doke. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. You don't account for the shingling or the edge of the roof here, and it launches up and just explodes above you. The top of this house is now open, and I'd like both you, Snark, and Rookbar to make dex checks to kind of avoid the shrapnel.
Got it.
Hearing that explosion, J78 will say, "Are you guys okay in there?"
I pass it on a +3 mod.
Okay. And what's the damage for the?
Sorry, brother. Triple ultimate.
Oh,
Oh god.
man, this could not get worse. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, so Snark, since you dodge, it's gonna be half, but that's still 10. And then Rookbar, you are caught in that blast pretty good. You are also shredded by it. And JA78, as you call out, "Are you all right in there?" There is no response from the room.
All right. When it comes back around to me, I'm going to go investigate.
Can I throw Rookbar my hero coin to have him send part of the damage?
Please, yes, that is awesome. So, Rookbar, you rolled a 6?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want another d20 or?
You can call it since you're the one who gets the hero coin. You can either re-roll the 20 or you can add a thing to it. So you need a 6 or more on the 12, or you just need a flat 12 on your d20. They're kind of similar in terms of risk reward here.
I'll do the d12.
Okay. Oh, no, not quite enough.
Thanks though, Snark.
Yeah, that was a very
Oh,
honorable
man.
thing to do. I will say you take another hero coin for that.
Thank you.
All right. So Snark just went. Rookbar, you're down now, so I'm going to need you to make a death roll, death timer, and then a 20 to see if you can pop up.
They're both dead, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both down.
Yeah.
That's my timer.
Okay, I'll just drag that.
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
I didn't roll one. Let me.
Yeah, I picture
Of course.
he's got all these wood splinters like all stabbed in him. Picture it. 2 rounds.
All right. Stone saw. You hear a massive explosion in the side of the house. And just smoke starts pouring out.
Wow. You said that one rode by me, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to like
Can
make
I
an
run?
attack as he rides by, you can definitely do that in the same like sort of
And
instance.
you got an easy roll, too.
Yep,
Okay, I'll try that.
that hits
Alright.
with easy.
Right. All right. So that would be a 7.
And you've got daggers, right?
Yeah.
So as he like rides by, he swings at you and misses, and you kind of go for his ankle, and he falls off his sled, and he starts tumbling down this cliff face over here. So this guy is now also just dogs. We're gonna kind of consider that guy, he's out of the action as he hits the thing and starts tumbling away. He hits his head off some rocks, and he's splatted. You nail him. Alright, the dogs, though, they're a little bit angry now. So they start to turn around, and I'm going to see if they can hold their balance on this back hill here. So let's do a dex roll. They do. So he starts coming right back for you, Stone Saw, and they're going to try and chomp onto you. You know, with the sled still attached, so it's hard. Yeah, they try and bite you, but with the sled kind of rattling around behind them, you're easily able to just kind of like dodge out of the way and keep them at bay. These dogs start just running away. They've seen a giant explosion. They're like, nope, I have no rider. This is not my problem anymore. This guy, he sees JA-78 in there, not sure what it is. He takes a shot with his bow, and the twine, because of the snow, snaps. I'll just mark him no bow. These guys start riding up. They're a little bit apprehensive because of the explosion. So they're just going to take pot shots here. 2 of them are going to shoot at JA-78, and the last one's going to shoot at Stone Saw. So first 2 on 78 here. Yeah, they're definitely missing. It's a hard shot for them, too, because he's in cover. And then 1 on Stone Saw. He's also in cover, so it's hard. They got 17. What's your armor?
17 plus the banner.
Okay, so just enough to hit you. Ooh. The arrow latches right between one of your plates in your armor and gets you for 6.
Did you have 20 armor though? Was it 17 plus 3, or was
No,
it
17.
with? Okay.
Yeah, the banner is for an action. So,
Yeah, for an action. Yeah.
all right, JA-78, now's your time to shine. Go find out.
All right. So JA-78 might make a tactical decision here and say it might be a good time to start popping these vials. But in fact, he may want to pop the vials of both the down guys to get him back to the start and have the medics there recover him. But he's going to give his banner to Stone Saw regardless. And so gentlemen, so reality is, if like this was like for reals, like JA-78 would run up there and probably pop both your files to get you back home. But do you guys want that to happen?
I'm not like, totally attached to this character, so if he dies, he dies, whatever.
Snark would probably rather have a "don't die on me" man, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got you, but I could probably save both of you by popping your vials and getting you back home. Whereas I'm probably going to be able to either save 1 or none if I come up to you. So, but because this is kind of a meta discussion, right? Do you want to like pop back home, or we want to keep going?
It sounded like both of them were like, please pick me up. Rockbar's like, I don't really care.
Yeah,
I'd rather
that's
stay
going to happen.
put.
I'm going to come over there, but just us guys sitting around a room like, Do you want me to just go for it and freaking try to get you up?
Yeah, I think a don't die on me man would be my choice. Like staying in the fight and getting rid of these guys might be cool, but it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Because like if you go back,
I think I would actually be much in favor of that. Like I said, I'm on a dying timer of 1, so.
yeah,
Okay.
I've got 2 rounds, so.
Gotcha.
And there's no assurance that I live if you pop me back anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then JSM8's not going to pop your vials. So he's going to run back. He's going to do a triage and look at the one that looks the worst.
Snark for
So
sure.
whoever looks the worst, I'm going to try to do a don't die on me, man. So cradle your head in my hands and look at you in the eye and be like, don't die on me, man. So here's his roll to see if you make it.
Big money, come on. Yes, excellent. All right, Snark is stable. Does J78 or Snark have a healer's case?
I don't.
I do not.
Okay, so you're just stable. You're not dying. You're not on a dying timer, but you also don't have any HP right now. You're
Understood.
Oh, he's carrying mushrooms though, so I'll allow.
Oh yeah, I do. I have 2 mushrooms.
To give you a mushroom, so you have 1 HP.
Yeah, I'll shove one down his throat if you can chew.
Yep.
Maybe chew his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, you do that. Snark, you got 1 HP, and it's your move. You're definitely a little shell shock, I think.
I immediately rush over to Rookbar and say, "Don't die on me, man."
He's stabilized.
And I give him the other mushroom.
Perfect. He's back up with 1.
Nice, thank you. He kind of
Now we can help you fight, JA70.
starts pulling splinters out of his face.
All right, but now that I'm close to both of you guys will get my armor class for now.
This
and
is true.
basically I'm looking at that little doorway into the room you were in. I'm waiting for the next thing to come at you.
All right, Stonesaw, you're out alone here with the many orcs. What are you doing?
You do have an easy roll.
Can I run into the house?
Yeah, you can. You can definitely run into the house. The dogs are not hampering
Can
you.
I? Right. Can I chuck a dagger at someone as I go, or is that a hard roll? Or
Nope, not hard roll at all. Just tell me which one
all
you
right,
want to
so
shoot
I'm
at.
gonna. Who's the guy hit before?
So this guy without a bow,
Oh.
he's been hit before by you. You threw one of your daggers into him before.
Okay, I'll try to throw another dagger at him as I run into the house.
Lovely.
Nope. Phew.
The 2s today. I'm going to say you kind of dive in a window and take cover behind the window as you throw the dagger in a smooth motion. Alright, so now we've got our orcs here. This guy doesn't have a bow anymore, so he decides to take his action to untie his dogs. And the dogs now charge into the house, and they see the big metal creature first. So the dogs make an attack on JA78. They're gonna not hit. The 3 bowmen, who are still riders here, 2 of them are gonna shoot at JA78. The last one is still focused on Stonesaw as he's running. So 2 on the thing here, and the last one, now he will have the bonus from being near to the robot as well. 18 doesn't hit you, right, Jay?
Nope.
And yeah.
And I have cover too, so it's not like I'm sitting out in the open.
Yep. So yeah, all of these arrows, they kind of thump into the wall, the outside wall of this building. And yep, we're back to the top now. Robot Man, what you doing?
All right, I'm gonna give my banner to Stonesaw again. Hopefully, he can make some good use of it. And what I'm gonna do is make sure I got my buddies beside me in that nearest position, and first thing that comes at me is getting a sword upside their face.
So there's dogs in the house. Are you attacking the dogs that are right on you?
Yeah, if there's one on me, he's getting a sword.
Okay, yeah. Deal me dirty.
All right, see.
Cut him.
Yep. So that is 7 damage.
You slash at the dogs. One of the dogs, there's 2 of them, just gets taken out of commission. The other one, it sees its friend and sort of whines as it drops to the ground.
And I definitely eyeball that last dog.
All right. Recently recovered Snark. What are you doing?
Con +1 recovery.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Rookbar.
Okay, question: with food, does that take a full action to
Nope.
consume?
Nope. Free action.
What I would like to do, I don't know if this is possible, is drink half of that gar and give it the rest, the half to Snark.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, so instead of getting the full 10, you're each going to get 5.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Thanks. Do we get to add con bonus on that?
I think the hard gar is ignore the next 5 damage done.
Yeah,
10 damage.
exactly.
So,
It's just
Oh,
damage.
okay. They're temporary hit points.
yep.
In that case, Snark says thank you, brother, but he waves it off.
Okay, and I just drink the rest, give a burp, and then he's gonna stand up and try to cast a spell out the window.
Nice.
It's Azul's Conjuration.
Okay. Yeah, that goes off.
So, and he summons 2 imps out in this space.
Okay, let me pop some imps down here. You want them outside the house, right?
Yeah, like just kind of mess around with. I don't know how to point here.
Yeah, double click to drop a ping. Perfect. Okay, let me find my imps here. In the meantime, Stonesaw, what are you doing?
He'll try to dispatch the other dog.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a crit.
That hits. All right, crit means you get to roll ultimate and weapon.
Sorry, doggy. Do I even...
Yeah.
Where's the 12? Yeah, 8, that's 12.
You kind of run up to this dog, give it a nice knife in the gut, and it...
From appetite to asshole.
Yeah.
And I cut him from appetite to asshole. Sorry, puppy, but...
He is dead. All right, we're going to use this as our imps, because I can't find my imps. 2 of them are out here, though. Okie dokie. All right. At this point, Stonesaw, your call was not in vain, as you all can hear the beating of wings. And as the beating comes in, the orcs that are here, they don't like that. They immediately turn tail and they start riding away. Now this guy, he's left without a sled because he let his dogs go. So these 3, you know, they hightail it out. But he's kind of left there, and he starts running, but he can't get very far just on foot. So he starts, you know, trying to get out of there. And as this drake, you know, swoops down, you see its icy breath, you know, melt one of these orcs that's on the sled as they're scattering, you know, trying to spread out and stay from damage. And you see him, it's hunting them at this point. And we're back to the top, JA 78.
All right. Is there any bad guys still near me?
No. The riders have all left. The dogs are dead, and the one orc.
All right.
was
I'll give my
dismounted.
banner to. Yeah, I'll give my banner to Stonesaw again. Make sure he can make some good. Maybe he can get a parting shot there, and I'll just once again brace up, and hopefully that nothing else comes through that little doorway.
All right, Snark.
Con +1 recovery.
Cool.
Nope.
All right.
Just missed it.
Rookbar.
I think he'll make a recovery roll as well.
Nice.
Doesn't make it. Well, can I add my memory ring charge to that roll?
You sure can.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So then you're gonna get 1 plus your con.
Okay.
And Stonesaw, you're the last to the party here.
I don't think I could catch him if I ran him with my little dwarf. So I'm going to try to throw my last dagger and get him in the ass to try to drop him down so we can maybe interrogate him possibly.
So you have rope,
Right.
so I'll allow you to lasso him if you
Oh,
want.
okay. Well, sure. Is that?
I see a 10. I'll
What's
let
the-
you add your dex
I have
bonus
a
to
plus
it.
one. It's 11 with the dex. I have the banner.
So as your
Off the bat.
lasso goes out, it is just a little short of grabbing this guy. He.
What does the robot's banner do?
Oh
Does that
yeah,
help
it makes
me
it
at all,
easy.
or no?
That's right. I forgot that it was.
There you go. So 14.
Yeah. So your lasso goes
Uh-huh.
out. It wraps around him, and you give it a tug, and he just to the ground.
There you go. You caught myself an orc.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
Well done.
We'll kind of go back into open order. The dragon is going to show up at some point, but we're going to let it kind of roll for the time being. As he's hunting down those other couple orcs.
I'm just gonna try to hog tie that. Well, I'll give him a couple shots in the head, and then I'll try to hog tie him.
Okay, yeah, you bruise him up.
Subdue him.
And he's tied.
Just subdue him.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
You've definitely done this a few times. He tries, to resist, but he's lassoed already. There's nothing he can do. He's just, spitting orc obscenities at you.
Nark is going to put a charge in the ring first.
Okay.
There we go.
How about the others? Rookbar and J78.
I think Rukbar would tell the imps, if they listen, to go chase down the other ones, just, because I know it's probably a lost cause, but go get them. And he'll turn to Snark and just kind of laugh and say, "Ain't they cute?"
Nice.
As they leave.
Yeah, they charge off into the snowy wastes looking for those other orcs.
And I'll just roll my memory ring if I can.
Sure.
Charge it up.
Yeah, I would give my banner to whoever wants the easy for their con roll between the two of you. Or the three of you, honestly.
You can
I
go
will
ahead.
defer to Rockbar on that.
Snark, you haven't had your you haven't rolled
Yeah.
that yet, so go for it.
Let me make one more con roll. This is going to be for con plus one.
Okay.
That does make it, and then I'm going to add my bonus of 4 to the recovery if I can do that.
It says any roll, so yeah. Or no, because recovery isn't a roll.
Oh, it's not a roll, so it's just 3. It's just 3 straight, so I'm up to 4 now.
After doing that, though, Jason, they want to go out there with Stone Saw and start interrogating.
All right. Stone Saw and Robot. What are you trying to get out of this orc?
Well, first ascertain if he understands a universal language
Yeah.
of punishment.
Nicely said.
The orc grunts angrily at you.
So I apply more punishment until he understands that he should be silent until he's until he is spoken to.
All right, he's silent in that case.
Now we begin the universal discussion of nod if you agree with me, or shake your head if no, and I'll apply enough punishment to make sure he understands that lesson.
Okay, yeah, you do that. Actually, make a charisma check. Let's see if he understands your robotic voice. It's a little bit different than the other tongues.
Yeah. I only disagree with you in that this is pain, and this is like Pavlovian response, right? I'm kind of going through the motions of yes or no is good.
Yeah,
with pain, right? So however you want to rule that, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's also kind of trying to stick it in your eye, to say.
Okay, you want the charisma one?
Yeah, charisma to kind of
Yeah, easy.
him. He does not appear to be too intimidated. As much as you kick and throttle and beat at him, he doesn't make any motion that he's gonna listen to you or help you out.
Obviously, we need to start doing the old Imperium stuff to him.
Can I
start cracking my metallic knuckles?
Hold on. Can I try to convince the orc?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna mention. I'll mention the Drake's name.
All right.
And I'll point at him. Yeah, Gurdon's coming. And like so, you can run away. I like the little finger walking thing, or I make the chomping thing with my fingers. Eridan, right? So either you can run away, or you're gonna get eaten.
All right, make a charisma check. This is definitely easy. Yeah,
12.
He's nodding in agreement.
Well done.
So,
What
do you want to just like point at the wizard cabin?
Yeah,
And then
basically
sort of
what
give
we
him like
wanted.
the.
Yeah. What we want to ascertain is was his group responsible for the wizard? And so that'd be a yes or no question. Because remember, we only trained him on yes and no.
Right. Yeah.
So Stonesaw, you were like pointing at the house, basically.
Point at the house, and then I'll point at like the orcs, and then I'll do like the finger across the throat thing.
Oh, okay. He shakes his head. No.
Look at the robot.
All right. So we'll make the universal symbol of wiggly fingers for wizard and point at him and be like, yes or no.
He nods.
And then I'll make the universal symbol for where. Yes or no.
The old he
with universal symbol for I don't know, which gives him a kick in the face.
he shrugs, unsure. He just
Yep.
he
Anyone
says
else
something in
wanna get
Orcish,
in on this?
Urkach eat ul amluk ai.
Anyone else want to get in on this?
I don't.
Of the guys in the house. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, can I like roll to see if I understood what he said? I don't know if I know Orcish.
Sure. Yeah, do an intelligence check.
Yeah, do that little meta. It's just a straight roll.
Yep. Hey,
I picked up some pigeon orc in my travels.
you're not sure of every word that he says, but you make out, "We want the wizard. Where is he? We don't have him." Something like that.
Okay. Can I just like ask some sort of broken orc
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I go, why?
He tries to do the universal sign for slitting one's throat.
Okay. I nod approvingly. I understand. I understand violence.
He goes, Igle.
What else? Anything you want to ask? I'll translate.
While you guys are interrogating, I'm going to try to do one more recovery roll if I could.
Sure.
And this time, I will go ahead and use that 4 charge in my ring and go up to 7.
That's cool, man.
I think I'll do the same, but I'm gonna walk out as I recover.
Cool. Yeah, you walk out and you see Stonesaw and this robot beating the crap and speaking pigeon orc to this downed orc.
He just kind of like crosses his arms and just looks at it and just looks at him doing that and just smiles. Doesn't really add to it.
Yeah, so JSM would be pretty much just continuously kicking and punching this thing, but he looks up and he says, "It seems clear they don't have the wizard." Let's see, can you ask him if they know where the wizard went?
Yeah, I'm also curious. Like, who are these other dead orcs? Was it them that attacked him? Like, and they lost, because we had the piles of 15 dead orcs, right? So, the same clan, same tribe, or different.
The orc says in his orcish tongue, "I'll only tell you if you let me live."
Well, we'll let you go. Whether you survive is on you.
You called the dragon already.
He's coming.
Parlay.
He's coming back. I mean, but I'll let you go if you answer. Whether you survive the dragon or not, it's on your wits.
He says, "No deal. I will die either way."
So you want me... Oh.
You can strike me down or let the dragon kill me. But if you want me to speak more on the wizard, you must promise safety of my passage back to my orcs.
If I promise you safety, will you promise us safety if we travel to find this wizard and kill him ourselves?
It will take some time for me to reach the chiefs, but I will relay that you are not to be trifled with, as many of my brothers have fallen this day, and at this shed.
Okay, well, I don't. Are we cool with that, or do we just?
Yeah, that seems like the only option, really, or the
Yeah.
best option, huh?
I'm down.
Well,
Okay.
at this point,
Yeah, no.
our good
So
friend,
J78 is like
The
continuously
dr-
just like beating this guy.
I'll kind of stop the robot from putting a stump in a mud hole in a snowbank or whatever.
and at this point, our good friend Goradin returns and lands atop the broken house, shattering, crushing some of the shingles with its weight. And he looks down at you. You have let him live. Why do you play
Oh, for now.
with the thing?
He will serve useful. We use him as bait to get more orcs. We can kill one now, or we kill many later. I'd rather kill many. It's like fishing. I don't know if you fish, but we use a little minion, a little mook, a worm, catch bigger prey.
So at this point, as a meta, you're kind of lying, right? Because you want him to go and give you safe passage.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
We're not going to kill the wizard either. So I'm just lying to his orc. He's an orc.
And right as he hears the conversation, Snark will come outside and he's dragging a sheet full of orc
Nice.
Mhm.
that he lays open and presents to the Drake.
The Drake gives a sniff of the air and says, "Those orcs have been dead. You have not done this."
These are just an honorary presentation of the heads to come, Master Drake.
I wish not for honorary heads. You insult me. Finish
No
this
offense
orc
intended,
at
Master
once.
Drake.
So J78 will happily comply unless you guys stop him.
Go Vibro.
Stonesaw, any objections?
Oh, I'll point to the other orc that I finished off. There's one there. He's fresh.
I see that, but you required my aid. Your call was heard.
Okay, so then I kind of like turn my back, and if the robot does what he does, it wasn't my fault.
Well, what I'll do is I'm going to look at that
fulfilled
orc.
your word.
Give him so I'll give the orc the universal symbol of chompy face or comply. But basically, I'm saying his life is in my hands right now.
The orc says nothing and spits, knowing that no matter what he does, he's dead at this point.
Anyone stopping me?
He spits at you, J.A., yeah.
I'm more scared of a dragon than the orcs.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll crush his pathetic throat.
Yeah, your vibro blade slides through him, and he lies motionless on the ground here.
And I'll toss the head at the Drake.
The Drake sees it fall. This house was not in ruin before, and I did not feel magic. He eyes the group suspiciously. Here to blow more holes in my mountains?
Hopefully that is the last one, Master Drake.
So J78 will look at him and ask, "What other holes have been blown in your mountains?"
Is this something the orcs did?
Orcs, dwarves,
You let
humans,
him?
they all wish to mine my mountain.
Okay, so the wizard hasn't done this.
He shakes his head no. This is why the wizard was allowed to live here, on my mountain.
So I'll ask the Drake just as politely as J78 can, which is not very polite. But he'll ask him, have you seen where this wizard went? These orcs attacked him, and there was a fight. However, the wizard's gone. Do you know where he's went? Or who has him?
The dragon says nothing, and I think his saying of nothing speaks more than words could.
He has it. The wizard.
Goradin does not have the wizard.
I say, do your brothers have the wizard?
Once again, silence.
I say, what do your brothers want with the wizard, and how can we get him back from you? We need to have words with that old man.
You would need to speak to my master. He calls the shots with the wizard. I know not of their meddling. I have no interest in this game of wizardry and wars.
Which I give a metallic laugh and say, so you've a master, eh? It's like, well, mighty Drake, who is your master?
Hydronix, I have told you this. He is the greatest of our drakes.
Oh, you just mean your brother. Okay. I apologize for laughing at you.
You would do well to mind your laughter if you wish to live, metal man.
If there was a look of contempt I could give, I would give it, but unfortunately I don't have facial expressions.
Don't stop. He's not from here. He does not understand the mighty power of the drakes. Please, pardon his ignorance. And I thank you for your help. Surely we might have fallen against these horrible savages.
Your words please me, small one.
The dwarves know the power of the dragon. We do not take it lightly.
He nods solemnly.
So J78 asks, where can we go to find Hydronax's lair? We need to ask him and that wizard he holds a question.
You have slayed a few orcs this day, so I will take you there. But what he does with you, I can make no promises.
Nor can we make a promise of what we'll do when we get there.
All right. So,
And during the conversation, I just want to try to make one more recovery roll.
okay, sure.
I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Nope.
I like
Good
try.
job. Good job.
Nice.
I like to do a recovery roll as well.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Nope.
All right.
Does my Gar stuff still? Is it still
Yeah,
working?
it's still
or is
active. It's active until you get hit, or until the end of the session.
You've got 10 temporary hit points,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so you're basically in agreement of him leading you to Hydronax's lair?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
As long as he's comfy with it too.
He said that it's fine, but he makes no promises of what you may find there.
And nor do I.
So he leads you to one of these big holes in the ceiling and lets you inside, speaking to his brother. Hydronax, these ones have words for the wizard. And Goradin, he leaves quickly after this. He doesn't seem too interested in what's going on here, so he just flies back out. And Hydronax, our lord here, steps over to the side of the cliff face and looks down on you.
I ask him, where is this wizard? We'd like to have words with him.
He ponders for a moment, looking you over. The wizard is mine. What wishes do you have with him?
His people miss him, and we've been sent to fetch him. However, since he is yours, I would like to ask him a question as to how he got to where he is.
He is required here for now, so his friends and family will have to miss him a bit longer. I would not permit you speak with the wizard.
I ask him why.
You dare question Hydronax? His anger starts to flare, and you see his, like, horns sort of spike out.
And seeing that things are going dangerously south, I'd like to put a charge in my ring.
Okay.
And I have wild power, so can I bank a second one? Is that legal?
Sure, I guess. I don't have a problem with it.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
I've
I don't really
I've
care.
never hit it on.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
And I will bank another one.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm good. I'm at 11 on that.
Cool.
So J78 will definitely say, I do dare. What business do you have with this wizard?
All right.
All right, 13. Same
Don't
thing.
st-
6 plus 6
don't
plus
start
1,
kind of
13.
TBK.
so like raising his hand. Wait, hold, mighty Hydronax. He does not speak. He is awed by your presence, and he feels the need to assert his dominance. But please, don't destroy us just yet.
This creature is an abomination. I sense crystal within him, powering him. How was this creature brought to being?
So J78, always good for some nice conversation if someone asks him about his origins. We'll go through in absolute detail on the creation process of mechas and how his employment of the Imperium and some of his adventures so far.
And while the exciting yarns are spread, I'm going to try to take one last recovery.
Okay. Rookbar, in all of this, do you have anything to say?
He's probably just like standing there in awe and just not sure what to even say. Like just kind of stammering.
The creature continues to look at J78 as he explains his long and in-depth backstory, and its nostrils are flaring, and you can see ice forming. This creature does not belong here. Remove him from my presence at once.
I just wanted to add that I will blow that charge in the ring to go back up to full power on hit points.
Yeah, you're fine.
Thank you.
So J78 will look at you three and he'll say, if you think you can get negotiations better, I will remove myself from this cavern. Otherwise, I have mind to run up there and shove my sword through this thing's gullet.
Do you say this loud enough for the dragon to hear?
I'll say it loud enough to where my companions can hear.
Okay.
If the dragon hears it, it's not my business.
I was going to say, in an echoing ice cave with a magic dragon, I can't imagine he can't hear it. I thought it was for his benefit.
All right, so this Suros, the smaller of the drakes, flies over. Shall I eat him? He asks Hydronax. Let him leave if he wishes. Otherwise, you may feast, child.
So, gents, if you're in agreement, J78 will kind of walk out to the outside of the cave if I can.
Mm-hmm.
But stay within earshot. If things
That
go
sounds
sour,
good.
he's going to come in there.
Nice.
All right. This is actually good. Because J78, while you're standing outside, make a wisdom check.
Yeah, no problem.
Focused on the sounds from inside the cave, you don't notice anything. The rest of you, though, while you're parlaying with Hydronax, what's going on here? What's your angle? Speak, mortals.
Master Drake, may we have your permission to at least speak to the wizard that we may inform him of our mission and assess his condition?
Make a charisma check.
Nope.
I have told you, the wizard is mine, and you will not see him or speak with him. Not without tribute, in the very least. My brother, Gurridon, tells me you have slain a couple dwarves, or a couple orcs. This is...
Yes, we had. Sorry, go ahead.
This is but a minor tribute. To seek the wizard would be a great tribute required. Would require a great tribute.
Is there a service we could perform on your behalf, Mighty Drake?
Make a charisma check again.
Nope.
You do not look suitable for the task I require.
So then I ask him, what's the harm in us trying? Either we fail and we're out of your cave and it saves you, this time, or we succeed and then you get tribute.
Oh, good. Make an easy check. Charisma.
There's my mousey.
Yeah, so
15.
he sort of like crosses his reptilian arms. Kazgat! The dragon calls out. And from behind him, a wizard steps out. Oh, well, hello there! Not many, humanoids, last long with the drakes. You have my admiration. What can old Kazgat do for you?
Master Kazgat, we were sent here by the Mages of Grey to seek your counsel. We did not know that you were a guest of the Mighty Drake, but you have been sadly missed and are desperately needed upon your mission completed here.
At the mention of the mages, you see his eyes widen momentarily. You may think fear or worry in them. And then he responds with, Guest! Yes, that is one way to put it. He looks over at Hydronax concernedly. I'm afraid I'm a little preoccupied at the moment.
Well, then perhaps we could simply offer you the one piece of tribute that the mages did give us, and if you would permit us, we could give the same to the Mighty Drake. And Snark steps forward and presents them each with a vial.
The Drake looks at this vial from a distance. What is this potion?
The mages did not tell us, Master. They
Charisma
only said
check,
it was
because now
very
you're lying.
valuable and would help us, and would help us in our mission.
If J78 can give a banner, he will.
Ooh, the
you.
20!
Oh,
That is
perfect timing.
that is a
Finally.
chef's kiss moment for me. Kazgat looks at Hydronax. Wizard's gifts do not come lightly, friend. What do you say? Do we have an agreement? We'll accept this as a minor tribute. Suro, collect them. The younger, smaller Drake lands down, kind of in the middle of the group, and puts his nose close to Stark, and opens his mouth just slightly so you can deposit the vials in them.
Snark does.
The Drake flies back up to his master and opens his mouth again. Kazgat takes two of them, hands one and places it in Hydronax's mouth, and looks at the other. His eyes kind of go wild for a moment, like... He kind of motions like, should I drink this?
So if J78 can hear any of this, he would absolutely agree.
J78, while you're out there, actually make a wisdom check again.
Yeah, will do.
Still nothing, unfortunately. Okay. The rest of you, what are you suggesting Kazgat do?
Right.
Snark just says, "You are wise, sir. You know what to do."
Kazgat immediately pops open the vial and drinks. As he does, he poofs. This immediately enrages Hydronax. "What have you done?" And as he says this, icy cold breath sprays out across the three of you. I need con saves. And J78, you definitely hear this now.
So when they get done, I'll rush in there and...
Okay, Stonesaw, you save. Take a hero coin as well. Oh, and Snark, you should also have a hero coin for that moment as well.
Oh, I thank you.
Can I bump that with my memory ring?
You can.
Can you divide that as the rolls, or is that just added up?
So I always rule it where you have to use all of your memory ring slots at the same time.
Yeah, I think there was a discussion that said that that's how we were going to wind up playing it. It was just it's all or nothing.
Okay, so that makes it 20.
Perfect,
30,
yeah.
20.
So you dodge, Stonesaw dodged, and Snark also dodged. So you're only going to take half damage from here. So 3 to all of you as the icy breath sprays out across the room. And yeah, let's roll initiative, I guess. Okay. All right, Stonesaw and Rookbar. I'm gonna switch the order for you two now, since Stonesaw was last time. Just waiting for Snark's roll here. Okay, Snark, you're first. What are you doing?
Okay.
Oops, didn't need this one. And now
I would like to.
dragons, I just want to mention that now that the dragons are upset, the target has increased.
Understood.
You-
I would just like to climb for someplace I have some cover from the breath weapon. Would
Okay.
that be possible to get maybe to there?
Okay. Yeah.
And then if I can still take an action.
I would say this is probably a far move if you're trying to like get into cover as well.
Okay, I will live with that. I will run for cover and a good vantage point where and you're saying I'm in far distance currently?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I will do that.
All right, J78, you come rushing back into the room.
All right, so I will rush back in and notice that Kazgat's gone. Assuming that could I see what happened?
I'll say yes, you were looking in at the time, but you just see him disappear from outside the cave.
So I will say, pop your vials, boys. We're getting out of here. And so I got to go anyway, but I'm going to pop mine.
That makes a lot of sense. You assume that they still have theirs because you didn't see it happen. So.
Yep.
But didn't Snark have all of them?
No, I had 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
And if I read correctly in the preamble leading up to the adventure, if we're all touching when somebody pops the last one, we can get home.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So Stonesaw, you're up now.
Well,
Let's decide. Does Rookbar or Stonesaw have the last vial? Because one of you would have to give yours up to appease the drake.
It would have to be Rookbar because you gave me stone saws.
No, I gave you Kazgats, did I not?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Then don't they both have one then? If I have Kazgats and my own?
And then one of them would have to give you it because you gave 3 to the drakes.
I didn't realize I gave 3 to the drakes. I'm sorry. I thought I only gave them 2.
Yeah, one for the wizard, one for...
One for each of them, yeah.
One for a Hydronet.
Yeah, it wasn't for the other one.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, everyone's got theirs. That was my mistake. I
Except me.
misinterpreted.
Except.
Oh,
the
except
Snark.
you. Okay.
All right, fellas, I got to roll. I hope you all make it.
Yeah, take care,
Yeah.
man.
Thanks.
Have
Thank
a
you.
fun, fun
Thanks.
afternoon there.
Hell yeah.
So who has the potion?
So you have one and Rookbar has one, but Snark does not.
Okay.
Both of you
Okay.
guys have one.
Okay. Can I run to Snark and pop it? And we get out of there?
Yeah, you can.
Is that
You
possible?
can absolutely do that.
I will do that. I'm gonna do that. I like peace out, and then I'll run and
All right. Yeah, you rush over to Snark there,
Snark
and
and pop
he-
the.
he disappears. Rookbar, I'm assuming that you just follow suit here.
Can I try to cast a spell before I hit the potion?
Yeah, because the potion's a non-action, so you can definitely cast the spell first.
I'm gonna shoot a lightning bolt at this guy
Nice.
Oh,
and then pop it.
now that
Sure. Let's make.
Doesn't work. It's like dang it. And then he'll just pop and go.
it sensed it though. It knew your intent.
Yeah. From an enemy to a mortal enemy. Very good.
All right. So at this point, you guys reappear at Anvil.
Nicely done.
Yeah, that was a very smooth operator type of action there. I liked that. And yeah, you're back at Anvil at this point. And you're standing essentially where you arrived from the portal. That's where you are standing now. So it's kind of like in the middle of the street here. I'll actually move us back here. Choop. J78's there as well. And Tyrael's there. He's sort of like waiting, lounging around, waiting. Kind of his duty is to watch the watch for you guys coming. So he sits up suddenly. You're back. Where's Kazgat?
He was ahead of us.
He was ahead. He was ahead of you. You mean he took the potion and he's not here?
Correct.
Oh, no. No. Kazgat, you fool! What have you been messing with? Well, this is dire news indeed. I need you to report this back at once to the Wizards of Grey. Kazgat has been messing with the temporal space magic. It has made him more susceptible to the interference taking place with teleportation right now. He could be... Blast, he could be anywhere.